What's up, everyone? Welcome to Alto. My name's Zach, owner and founder. Built this place with my bare hands. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into it. I'm excited for you guys to take an inside view and just see what we do here. I've always loved cannabis, had a huge passion for it. I think once it became legal and you could grow 12 plants per household, I started growing my own flower just because I'm so particular on what goes in it. I want the cleanest weed. I want super high quality weed. I want it cured and dried correctly. So I started growing my own cannabis. The micro business licenses had just been dropped. At that point, I was like, I think this is what I want to do. I'm gonna do it. That was right before COVID hit, and building materials were sky high. It was crazy, everything was double. So we're like, okay, how can I build this micro facility as affordable as possible? Being a young entrepreneur, shit gets expensive quick. So we kind of came up with the idea of using Connex containers because we wouldn't have to build any structures, they're already built for us. And at that point, it was just figuring out, okay, how do we make everything we need fit into this small place? It almost feels like a space station up here. Like you're in the cockpit of an airplane. Everything is custom designed for this facility so it works like a fine-tuned engine. So that's how we came up with the idea for the Connex containers. Is if you look around, we've done everything in here. Me, my dad, and my stepson built this place together. We subcontracted out a few things like the electrical, but everything you see in here, I have shed a lot of blood, sweat, and tears for. Everything from our fans being hung, dehumidifiers being put up, all the custom plumbing that me and my dad did, you name it. Assembling the Botanicare trays, building our custom cages, hanging the lights, zip tying every wire up so it's clean in here, hanging the doors, cutting out holes in the containers to weld. I've put a lot of time and effort and love into this place. It's been a true labor of love. I'm so proud of it. I'm excited to be bringing flower to the New Mexico market. That's my goal. I want to bring the highest quality flower to the people that are out there. You know, I want to be known amongst the best. November of 2023 will officially be a year that we've been in business. So we're doing pretty good, I think. Alto has a lot of room to grow. I don't even think to this day people know who we are. That's the kind of mindset that I have. No one knows who Alto is, so just trying to show out for everyone. I didn't really have much grow experience. I mainly smoked it my whole life. And I never had the space to grow. You know, who does? We all live in apartments or dorm rooms, whatever, live with our parents. Like, it's hard to have space to grow when you're younger. So once I had my own place, weed became legal, you could grow 12 plants, I started growing. At this point now, I've been growing for a little under 2.5 years I've been growing for. I think a lot of what's helped me is having a biology degree. That's really given me the understanding of the science behind growing. I try to take a scientific approach to everything and really keep track of what I'm doing, make diligent notes on what I'm doing, and just making sure that what you're doing is working. If it's not working, well, you have notes on what you did, go back to them, switch it up, make changes. That's the fun about growing. You'll have mentors along the way, people who teach you how to grow and show you like things that they know, but you always have to put your own style on it. When you're growing in these environments, this is like a Ferrari. You know, it's very fast paced. We're enriching with CO2. We're running high intensity LEDs. We're feeding heavy. We're pushing these plants to their absolute limits, trying to maximize what we're doing in such a small space. You know, holding the smallest license of 200 mature plants at any given time, you have to maximize what you're doing. And that was the goal when building this facility, is maximizing what we do. How do I maximize what I do? How am I just making smart decisions that the plants are gonna love? I think what makes Alto different from other grows is that we have such a small team. Everything in here, I'm hands-on with it from start to finish. I'm taking clones, I'm bagging up weed at the end of the day, jarring it up, hand picking my nugs, just making sure that everything is pristine. You know, my goal is that when you get an Alto pack, every nug is trimmed beautifully, the moisture content's on point, it's terpy, it's smoke smooth, it ashes white. You guys have a really enjoyable and memorable experience smoking Alto. At the end of the day, we just want to do our best to deliver high quality products to the end user. We're in this community, we love you guys, we want you to be smoking good. All perfectionists, we're our biggest critic. We're the hardest on ourselves. So I never really thought I was growing good weed, especially because I was so new to the game. Eric with Green Fuego, he introduced me to Z Labs. Harvested the super booth, took fresh frozen, sent that to Z Labs. Zach at Z Labs saw the flower. He was instantly in love with it. He's like, oh my God. He's like, I love these terps. I've been chasing these terps. He's like, I love this weed. And then at that point, a few days later, he had washed it. And he's like, dude, that plant dumped. Like, that plant dumped. And even we were on the fence about submitting that. We're like, working with Z Labs was the start of it. In first place in Hash and Hetties really put us on the map. And then once the actual cannabis community started buying Alto flower and smoking it and giving me feedback, that's when I knew we had something good, because people who I had no idea, like I didn't know, had no connection to, were DMing me, posting about it, and just letting me know, like, dude, do what you're doing, you're growing good flower. That's one of the best feelings, is growing good flower that people enjoy. Every run is different, every cultivar is different, and I think that's part of the fun of growing, is that when you're trying to grow new genetics, it's gonna be a different run every time. That's what lends to being a good grower. If you're a good grower, you're gonna be able to grow good, consistent weed and different strains, because they all need different things. You're gonna have failures, everyone fails, whether it be facility problems, plants just not doing good. Maybe you're an inexperienced grower like I was at the beginning. You're just gonna kill plants, you know? You're not gonna grow the fire immediately. Use a scientific approach. Every day I come in to grow, and what are potential problems that I see? What are problems that are currently happening that I can solve? Who can I reach out to help me solve them? If I don't have the answers, I'm aware of the problem, I'm actively searching for answers to it, whether it be growing, whether it be equipment, whether it be whatever, you name it, active problem solving and never giving up. I don't take failures, I learn from them, I move on. How can we get better? I'm already too deep. We can't give up now, we gotta keep pushing forward.
EFD sensor, it senses the intensity of the light. This was made by Trollmaster. So if you come and look right here, it'll tell you how intense the light is on these plants. You can lower and raise it. The telescope's in and out. It's pretty cool.
Today we're gonna take some clones of the soap. Got this strain, Confidence of Green Fuego. Hit the top with the little transpiration cut. Boom, first clone. That's kind of how long we make them, maybe like 7 inches. We'll do another final trimming right before we plug them. The plant that you're taking clones off of, you always want to make sure it's a healthy plant. And you always want to clean and sanitize your scissors before you start taking clones. You don't want to transfer any viruses between your plants if for some reason your plants did have a virus, so keep your plants healthy and clean. Whenever you defoliate a plant or you're taking clones off a mom, when you're taking off plant material from those, they're gonna drink less. So I'm not gonna have to water this as frequently now that I'm cutting it down. But yeah, that goes back to kind of overwatering your plants. Whenever you defoliate, it's gonna drink less and eat a little bit less for a while. And we all start somewhere. When I started growing, I didn't know anything about growing, so we all start somewhere. You just gotta start doing it and handle the problems as they come. You know, be a good problem solver. Definitely don't want to leave any plant matter in your soil, in your trays, it just decays. And cleanliness is next to godliness in the grow. You want to keep things clean, you want to keep things organized, sanitary as possible. This is the perfect environment for bugs to live in. It's, you know, warm all the time, perfect humidity, really bright light, so you have to keep everything extremely clean to grow fire products. I got cuts here. We'll clone these bitches. So right now we're just mixing up a solution to soak the cubes in. Team Home Depot. One of the cool things when we made the decision to use storage containers to outfit our grow, I had to learn to weld. You know, we couldn't afford to pay someone, just like every small business. The more you do on your own, the more money you save. So now, like when we're taking clones, we're like, how do we get these things, like what's the fastest way we can get these to root? Yeah. We want these to root really fast. So rooting gels to make your cuts root fast. And do one more row, so we do 32 clones per tray. And that's, for me, is the perfect amount of spacing between your cuts. Sometimes the hole, if the clone's too small, you got to go on the side of the big hole. So I'll just go to each plant, dude, hack them down, do 4 of these trays, and then that's that's enough for my next harvest. And that gives me some extra, because all your clones like aren't gonna make it, you know? These will be more vigorous than others, so you always wanna take a little bit, like I usually take like 30 more than I need. Life hack, whenever you have resin on your fingers from defoliating sticky ass plants, avocado oil, game changer. Make a label for these. You don't need the craziest facility to grow. You definitely need to know what you're doing though. And this is kind of a testament to that. But yeah, you don't need $1 million facility. You don't need anything too crazy, but you do need to have consistency, and you need to be able to control every aspect of your environment. So that's the goal whenever building a facility, no matter what it is. If it's in Conex containers, it's in a warehouse, in a garage, in a grow tent, it's in a bedroom, it's in a closet. How do we maximize, how do we maintain and control our environment so we have optimal growth? Hopefully you guys like what you see, and if you're not following Stonehead, like and subscribe, all right?